Yo, what's going on, guys? How's it going? Sorry, I'm texting my dad right now. I'm trying to get him to maybe stock some Happy Dad, the seltzer in his restaurant. Maybe can push some sales there. You guys obviously know with all the hype around it. No, I was sorry. Yeah, I'm a minute late. My bad. But yeah, always trying to think of ideas for the father's restaurant. So today is Friday, 8 o'clock Friday morning. We just got to watch some. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I gotta post this to the. Sorry, guys. My mornings are not slow. Ever since I started this stream. Busy mornings. So, good morning. 8 o'clock, Friday morning. We just got to watch some NFL here yesterday. Very, very fun. Finally, a great game, actually, if anyone watched it. Really good game. I had Ronald Jones on my fantasy team, and I got screwed. Absolutely screwed. So, the restaurant is called... if you guys want to if you ever come to Florida, if you type in Naples Flatbread, that is his restaurant. That is our family restaurant. If you guys want to support them, if you come into the Florida area, Estero, Miramar Outlets, if anyone's been there, that is the family restaurant. Ask for, tell them you're from my stream. Yes. Great game last night. Really good. Terrible for my fantasy team. I had Ronald Jones, which I really was not very happy about picking, but we're in a 16-person Discord league. For some of the Discord guys and girls, maybe, I'm not sure. But 16 people, so very deep league. And unfortunately, Ronald Jones was I guess, the best that I had at the time. Not happy about it, but... Oh well. So that sucked. And then I had a buddy that had Zeke who did terrible as well, but a great game. And honestly, I mean, pretty good for the Cowboys. I'm not a big Cowboys fan. I'm a Giants fan, but it was cool to see the Cowboys. Dak looked great, honestly, and sort of concerns me. If the Cowboys play like they did yesterday, I would assume they probably win that NFC East. Unfortunately, it pains me to say, but they look pretty good. So we'll see. Shout out to anyone from the Naples, Fort Myers, Estero, Cape Coral, that whole area. That's where I'm at. So, interesting day. Terrible day on the market yesterday. I'll show you guys real quick. Just some really strange price action yesterday on the market. Look, this is what the Nasdaq did yesterday. Very weird. Very, very weird. It sort of was predictable now looking at it, back, but... It was a dip, a bear flag, a dip, a bear flag, and a dip. It was the same thing over and over again. And this was from 11, let's see how long this time period is. So from here to here, this was about 49 minutes. From here to here, this was 21 minutes. So a little bit of a shorter time period here than here, but very strange, very, very strange price action on the Nasdaq yesterday. We're bouncing off of it this morning, and what you guys can see is that this is just, again, bouncing off the bottom of this trend, bottom of this channel on the NQ. You can see this, just again, another bounce on the bottom of this NQ. So we shall see what happens. We'll go a little bit more into that after we get into the schedule here. Let's go ahead and jump into this schedule. I did take some, very small Affirm calls into earnings yesterday. I paid $85 for them, so it was something I was willing to risk. But yeah, hopefully those pay out today. They probably should. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep the the Gregory. I want to keep the political talk out of the chat. I won't do anything this time, but you know, if I see it again, I'm gonna have to take care of that. So yeah, let's keep the politics out of the chat. Not something I like to bring into my, you know, atmosphere of what I do. So anyways, futures, Nasdaq, S&P 500, Dow Jones. We'll take a look at those this morning. Producer price index. And that is, so basically, if you guys are not aware what producer price index, it's what the producers are receiving for their products. So if maybe the prices are getting is slightly increased, slightly decreased, it's sort of like it's a good read, sort of on inflation. So we definitely want to see what the PPI data shows, see if there's any reaction to that this morning. So that comes out at 8:30. So remind me, we'll go ahead and see that PPI data. Next, Peloton, nice catalyst for Peloton yesterday. They are starting their own clothing line, which I think is very smart. I had a really cool conversation about, you know, this is another reason why I love the Discord chat. You're just having like intelligent conversations with other people. You know, some of my friends are interested in this kind of stuff, but a lot of them are not. I mean, I have maybe one or two friends that I can actually go to and talk about stocks, news, opportunities. That's really, I have a buddy Neil and a buddy Brian. I don't know if they're here listening, but those two guys I can go to talk to about this stuff, and they actually know what they're talking about. Most other ones have no idea. And so that's why it's actually very nice to be able to come to the chat and talk about this stuff. So Peloton Catalyst, interesting. We'll see what happens. I'm in a Peloton call, you probably know, from yesterday. We'll see what happens this morning. What is it doing this morning? Let's see. So it's slightly up in the pre-market. We'll see if we can get any type of continuation there. I'm not that concerned if we give some back. I would sort of expect it at this point. If we give some back, it's, you know, that was a pretty big move yesterday, 10% with October contracts. You know, it is what it is. I'll give back a few percentage points. I see more upside here. I'm going to let this ride a little bit. Next, Affirm earnings. They had good earnings. I didn't read the actual earnings. I probably should have before I usually do that later, like before market open. But we have, hold on, this thing, I feel like this is a little far from my, okay. Morgan Stanley overweight. Okay, Morgan Stanley price target of 140 on Affirm this morning. We'll go over that when we get to that section of, I don't want to take up too much time here, but we'll get to some news on Affirm when we get to the chart here. Amazon, really nasty rejection yesterday. Nasdaq was weak, as you guys saw, and Amazon just rejected off some resistance. Show you guys that. mRNA. We'll look at mRNA just taking off like crazy, and it's breaking through that. Remember, if you guys remember from the live streams, we had a channel on mRNA. We talked about how if we get above the channel, we could see a really nice move. We're getting that exact move. So congratulations to anyone that took advantage of mRNA here. Huge move. AMD, ascending triangle. Want to show you guys that. Looks pretty good, maybe as an opportunity. And then Tesla. Tesla is really holding up. Tesla has had some dips, but overall, very strong support on Tesla recently. And then finally, if you guys are a member of the channel, make sure to go ahead and make sure to go to, I'm actually going to post it one more time for you guys so it's up there front and center. If you are a member of the channel, you can go ahead and go to this link right here. It's going to be pinned on your chat, and you can go there and post a ticker that you want us to look at today at the end. So feel free to do that at the end of the or whenever. I'll get to it at the end of the stream. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this. Also, by the way, I got MSI to give us a discount code. It's going to be starting on the 15th of September. It's going to be through the 15th to the 30th of September, so about 2 weeks. It's going to be 10% off anything on their store. So I'll give you guys more details when we get closer to that time. But thank you again to MSI for supporting the stream and supporting you guys in this live in the chat. So we'll be able to get 10% off anything anything on the store that you have interest in. All right, Nasdaq. So just once again, guys, the Nasdaq is holding this channel. This is the channel. Every time we get down to the bottom of it, we bounce off of it. Every time we hit the top, we reject. So in total, we have rejected, I would say maybe one, two, three, one. I don't know if I would call these. I mean, they're close. So we'll just call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 times we have rejected the top. Maybe you call it 6 with this test here. On the bottom, we've supported 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're sort of, we've been up and down here multiple times, and I don't know how long this lasts. I don't know how long this lasts. Yeah, it's the best I could get. 10%. Sorry, I mean, not gonna. Anything we can get, we got to be grateful for, man. Got to be grateful. So I don't know how many times this, tests. We shall see. But I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have to either wait for, I think, either the Fed meeting in mid-September, maybe off of some economic news. There could be the catalyst to get us through or below. I don't think we're going to be able to get above or below this channel with just normal trading action. We're going to need some type of catalyst here to get us through these levels, because they look very, very tough. And the longer that we trade in here, the more patient I'm going to be, because I really don't see that much upside on the market as a whole when we're trading in this channel. So I'm definitely being very particular, keeping position sizes small, because I just don't see, that big breakout just yet. If we start to see a big breakout, then we know a lot of these tech stocks are going to move pretty heavy, and that's when I would probably be willing to put in a little bit more risk. If we start to see, something like this, a retest, and then a huge move higher, that's when you want to start, putting that risk on. But right now, very difficult times, very choppy, market's very slow. Intraday. So just be careful here, guys. Here's the 30-minute chart. You can see this a little bit more carefully, or a little bit more closely. Support here, definitely very strong support here at the bottom, pushing higher. We shall see if maybe we can push, I don't know, maybe we try to push into some of these previous resistance points today. That's what I'd be watching. So the first one that I'd be watching here is right at these previous lows. You can sort of see them. You have previous lows here, and you have these highs here. So I'd be watching this 15,632, probably just around this area here, which we're coming into. After that, you're probably heading back towards these highs here, right? So you have some levels to watch. It's pretty damn choppy, very difficult to read in this type of situation. You don't really know for sure where you're going to stall out. You know for sure you're going to stall out up here in the, 15,700s. You just don't, you're not quite sure where you stall out in between. If we get to the top of the channel, I'm taking QQQ puts. Yeah, definitely. You definitely can give that a shot. Definitely can give that a shot. All right, hold on one second, guys. All right, here we go. All right, so that is NQ, guys. Channel, very strong channel. Just keep an eye on it. That is what you should be watching. There's that should be the most important chart on your screen, especially if you are trading tech stocks. You need to have that up on your screen. Next is the Dow. The Dow did dip below the 50 SMA. It did dip below this trend line, but a pretty strong reaction here in the pre-market. The Dow was up about 0.5%, so about 177 points here. Back to the upside, trying to recover some of this dip under the 50 SMA, also under this trend line. So we'll see. I mean, the trend line sort of got invalidated there, but we are getting a nice reaction in the pre-market. So does this thing just bounce right back and move back above the 50 SMA? That is what I'd be watching. Watch this 50 SMA as resistance. It's already resisting off that level this morning. So the 50 SMA is right around 34,960. If we go to the short-term time frames, 34,960 is right around here. So 34,960 is right here, right where we're starting to get this rejection here on the 5-minute chart. Now, of course, we could get through that, but that 34,960 is the 50 SMA on the daily chart, and that is the resistance that I'd be watching today. If we can get above that, then your next level to watch is going to be the 20 SMA, which is around 35,213. So those are the two resistance levels I'd be watching to the upside. And then if this thing even gets weaker, you have the 100 SMA back around 34,500, which is also where we sort of bounced back here, right? So we bounced off the 100 SMA, and we are maybe trying to retest that 100 SMA. We shall see. Do you purposely not display the daily chart on Thinkorswim, unless you guys have a fix for this, does not show pre-market. On stocks. On the futures, it does, I think. Yeah, I think this is today's pre-market. Yeah. So, like, let's go ahead and go to, we'll go to mRNA, because I know mRNA is up pretty big here to 465 in the pre-market. If I go to the daily chart, it just does not show it. 465's up here. So I'm not sure if I need to change something on the stocks. I know futures shows it because futures is 24/7 basically trading, not 7, 24/5 or 6, 24/6 I think. But yeah, the stocks, individual stocks just don't show the after hours on the daily chart. I'm not sure why. All right, so that's the Dow. Let's go ahead and jump into the ES. ES is bouncing beautifully off the 20 SMA here, guys. This could be a very nice opportunity. It shows on yours? On the stocks? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe there's a setting I need to change. It shows pre-market, but not on the daily chart. Mine doesn't. I don't know why. I sort of like seeing on the stocks specific charts. I do like seeing the gaps. So, like for example, on Amazon, I like to see this gap and not fill that after hours action. 180 day or low. Yeah, it's definitely on the 4 hour. I know that. On the daily chart is what I'm saying, guys. Like the 4 hour shows this, right? See this? See how the 4 hour shows this downside? This big red candle? Now if I go to my daily chart, that's 180 days, right? If I go to the daily chart, the yearly, it doesn't show. I think it has to do with the day that you do. Yeah, you'll see. I'm aware of the after hours equities, show extended trading. Let me see if this works. Maybe that works. Yeah, see, that doesn't work still. Even on there, you can see show extended right there. It's just doesn't do anything. Anyways, regardless, what was I at? I was at the ES. So ES 20 SMA bounce, very nice. You guys can see that right here. Let's just see if this can. Continue. I actually like that the daily doesn't. It's important to look at those gaps, guys, on the daily chart. Those can be tradable opportunities. So 20 SMA. Keep an eye on that. Let's see if we go to the 4 hour chart. If we break this trend, this downtrend, maybe that is your indication of maybe some upside, right? So maybe if you break this downtrend here on the 4 hour chart, you find support right here at these previous levels. A little bit of a flag. Let's see if the ES can get some momentum, maybe back up to the top of this channel. I'm not sure, but we will have to see today. Either way, on the daily chart, I like the 20 SMA hold very nicely here. We're still in very strong uptrend regardless of this pullback. Moving averages are extremely fanned out, which is very, very nice. And the 20 SMA there is really strong. So let's see what happens. 20 SMA on the ES, you don't want to see that fail. That is the most important thing, I would say. If you are bullish, if the 20 SMA fails on the ES, we will most likely, like we have done every other time, anytime we failed the 20 SMA, there has been more of a dip, right? So 20 SMA fail, 20 SMA fail, 20 SMA fail, and right here, 20 SMA fail. Every single time we failed it, we've gotten deeper dip, maybe back down to the 50. So the 20 SMA on the ES is going to be a very important level, in my opinion. All right, Peloton. So you guys know I'm in some Peloton calls. The Catalyst was strong. They are creating their own clothing brand. I think they can very much compete with Lululemon. I'm a big Lululemon fan. And I think this could bring more revenue to the company. I think they could potentially take some market share, which is all good things for Peloton. I don't see a negative of them doing this. So let's see if the stock can move off this. It already moved 10% yesterday. Could, there's obviously opportunity for it to pull back after a big day like 10%. But I'm in it right now. I'm going to continue to see if it holds this 100 level. If you guys look at this chart, 100 is a rock solid level. So every time we've tapped 100, we have found some really, really strong support. So let's see if that continues. Let's see if 100 holds, if this can continue through. We definitely have some resistance here in the next few days. We have some of these moving averages. I would like to see something like this occur. You guys can see back in May into June, the 20 SMA started to hold higher. The 20 SMA started to move higher and started to break above the 50 and 100 SMA, right? So we started to get that break above, and that is what I'd like to see this 20 SMA start to do. I'd like to see it start to curl back higher and maybe try to move high above the 50 and 100, which is basically meaning that in the short term we're getting some continuation, we're getting some momentum on the short term. So let's go ahead and see if that happens, that 20 SMA, if it can curl back above and we can try to hold this 100, and that is what I will be looking at, 100 on Peloton. So let's see. That is what I'm in. Maybe if this thing gives you some pullback, you can look for an opportunity. Also, if you want to see more about this, watch my video yesterday. I go in a little bit more detail. So that's Peloton. That's my play. Affirm earnings. Here it is. So we have, let's go to see, you guys can see, look, this is the daily chart on Affirm, right? You can see that there is no after hours. Now if I go to the 4 hour, there it is. So Affirm's up. Excuse me. Yawning again. So push higher on the 4 hour, 112, that area. Let's go to the 1 minute just so we can see this a little bit more. So here you go, guys. This is the reaction on earnings. Big reaction. If I go to the news, price target increases from RBC Capital of 130. Price target increased by Morgan Stanley to 140. Credit Suisse increases to 105. They're a little behind. Deutsche Bank, 105. What else we got here? So some really nice price target increases. They missed EPS misses. Okay, so they had worse EPS than expected and better sales. There must be more into the guidance. Okay, here we go. Issued Q1 sales and guidance. Okay, so they issued guidance above estimates. That's probably what's making this work. They issued guidance above estimates, and that is most likely what's helping this stock higher. They love the guidance increases. So big guidance increase, there's your stock reaction. So I have some September. I had sent it in the chat yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So I have some really small September 17th 120 calls for I bought them for 85 cents. So a little bit of an earnings play, earnings YOLO. I like Affirm as a company. I can see their business model. I just, I wanted to play it. We saw some big beats on Lululemon. We saw a big beat on and a continuation on Upstart. So I like both of these. I like this type of momentum, and I wanted to see if I could play it. I mean, there's no skill behind the play like that. I'm not going to be here and be like, yeah, man, I told you to buy Affirm earnings. It's a gamble, 100% a gamble. It's an earnings YOLO, and I just felt like with some of the strength that we saw on Affirm yesterday, with the Amazon partnership, with some of the other earnings beats. I wanted to go ahead and take an $85 bet and see if I could, take advantage of this move. So it works out. It should look pretty nice this morning. I would assume it's up a few 100%, maybe even more. So let's see. Let's see what happens. It beat the expected move. The expected move is $12. So as long as a firm is above $104, then the call options will appreciate in value. Now, so there won't be any IV crush. It's up more than the expected move. It's up almost double expectation. All right, it's up what, $20? Yeah, it's up $20 a share. It was only expected to move 12, so it's almost double the expectation. $24 a share would be double the expectation, which would be at 116. This would be double the expected move at 116. I got it's in the chat, Quinn. I got this one right here. 917, 120 call for 85 cents. Malik, I have AMC on, I'm sorry, not AMC. Oh, you're looking at AMC. I thought you said AMD. I'll take a look later. Yeah, click that like button if you could. That'd be great. So that is a firm. We'll see what happens. Amazon, really harsh rejection on Amazon. Let's go to the daily chart. You can see it a little bit more clear. So Amazon has had resistance here at this 35.27 level. This has been a level I've been watching. It's been on my chart for about a week now. 35.27. Boom, boom. So resistance, resistance, support, turning into resistance once again. So a very nasty rejection yesterday. If the Nasdaq starts to lose it, I don't expect Amazon to go much further than here, guys. I mean, you need a strong Nasdaq for Amazon to get back towards these highs. So we'll see. If the Nasdaq can break above that upper wedge, that is when, I'm sorry, not the upper wedge, the upper channel, that is when I would be looking at Amazon to get a push. If Nasdaq continues to trade in that channel, has no momentum, I would be very careful trading Amazon, because Amazon needs that Nasdaq support. At least historically, and what I'm used to seeing, there could be times where it goes without the Nasdaq, but it's very apparent that that Amazon only is very strong when the Nasdaq is strong as well. So if we continue to see the Nasdaq chop around in this channel, I would be a little bit careful, especially with how expensive Amazon contracts are, of putting your money into these plays. Maybe you can play the downside off this rejection. Maybe it presents to you pretty decent risk to reward. There's your risk, there's your reward. Maybe that would be a risky play nonetheless. But I would, if you're bullish, I would wait until it breaks above and confirms this previous resistance as support at this point, guys. Right? So that's exactly what you'd want to see before you get into something bullish here. You'd want to see it break and turn this into some support here. Like start to trade above it, start to trade above this level for at least I wouldn't say for a few minutes. I'd say at least for maybe a few days, few hours, and then maybe you can take something back to the upside with a stop below this 35.27, right? That would be a setup that I'd be willing to take. But right here, you're still under this level. There's no strong hold above. And we'll see. Amazon. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that is a pretty harsh rejection on Amazon. I would just be very careful here. I mean, it's still, I wouldn't say it's done. Oh, PPI. But it's definitely looking like it's rejecting that level. So that is something to watch. All right, let's see if we get any rejection or any reaction off producer price index here. I'll give it a few minutes. If I don't see any reaction, then we're just going to move on. This is a good time to go ahead and scroll down, press that like button. 8.3 versus 8.2, so it's basically the same. Basically the same as expected. Let's see if there's any breaking news here. Alibaba's Hong Kong shares fall more than 6%. When is that? Yesterday. Holy shit. Is Baba down a crap load? Wait, what? Alright. Alibaba's Hong Kong shares fall more than 6% ahead of close. I got that. Yes. That's strange. That was yesterday. Okay, that was... Oh, that was yesterday's news. Okay. That was back here. Looks like it's coming back up, Baba. Producer Price Index inflation rises 0.83 year over year. 0.82 U.S. Core PPI rises. All right. So a little bit hotter than expected. I'm trying to go through some of this breaking news, see if I didn't miss anything. We getting any reaction? Not much of anything just yet. So I would, I'm the person that waits to see the reaction in price action. I don't just look at, I don't look at these numbers and freak out. I wait to see what the market thinks of it. So right now, I'm not seeing anything, but I'm sure if anyone wants to keep an eye on that for me, keep me updated in the chat. I'm not going to sit here and waste our time. But yeah, I'll pull this up. So August wholesale prices rise 8.3% on annual basis, biggest advance on record. Was it actually only expected to raise... Wait, what? Producer price index for final demand products was expected to increase 0.6 in August. You're telling me that they expected it to increase 0.6 and went up 8.3? Or no, I think they have that. I think that's misleading there. I think they're saying 0.6 versus the last month. That's a misleading article, I believe. Unless I'm wrong, guys. Let me know. I'm pretty sure that's a pretty misleading article, which they love to do that. I think most people would compare this number to this number, and I don't think that's correct. I think you're comparing this number to the expectation, which was probably 8.24 or 7. What was it? 7.3, 7.6, something like that. 7.8. I don't know. I could be wrong here. But yeah, I don't think you're comparing that number and that number. Anyways, so it looks like wholesale prices increasing a little bit. That's why it's called Producer Price Index. It's what the producer is getting paid for their products, which means, the person that is wholesaling that product, how much they are paying for the wholesale, or how much they're paying to wholesale. That's Producer Price Index. So that's Nasdaq. Nothing going on here. Let's move on. mRNA. Absolutely insane move on mRNA. Just incredible. Here's mRNA. You guys remember this channel. I know Hans remembers this channel. Hans, are you there? I know you remember this channel. We talked about this. This channel on every day. You asked me about mRNA on a daily basis, and I just continued to say this is the channel to watch. So hopefully, Hans, you got this. Hopefully you took advantage of this one. But big move on mRNA, huge. And when this thing moves, it's pretty incredible. So absolutely incredible move there. And the thing that really upsets me that I did not catch, which I did catch after, is... Okay, yeah, 0.7 month over month. That makes sense. Got it. Thanks, Option Gamma. So the thing that really upsets me that I did not catch, but I did see, we talked about this break and retest on mRNA. Look at this beautiful retest on mRNA. We talked about this in a live stream. Didn't play it because I just don't love playing mRNA. I don't know. I have a mental block, and it's cost me money at this point. It's definitely cost me money. But sometimes you have those tickers where you just don't love playing them, and for some reason that is me with mRNA, and I have clearly missed this boat here. Beautiful retest right there. Yeah, that is just really clean. I mean, those are the things that pain you to see because it's just so obvious. Look at that. So at this point, this is what we're going to be watching, right? The retest here at 440. If we get that, then we know we need to put some money on the line here, right? So that is what I would be watching. The next retest here at 440, that is what I will be looking at there. So there's that one. That's clean as hell. If we get another pullback, this could be another very clean bounce on mRNA. So watch these levels. Watch these levels. Yeah, biotech has costed me some money in the past too. That's why I've had trouble trusting on a move like this. I just can't. I just know I've seen in the past, like one day and you get, I mean, you basically, one day and a news comes out and you basically get an mRNA like dip down to like $200 a share. I've seen that before. I've seen these biotechs just die, and that scares me. So day trading, I don't think anything wrong with that. Swing trading is a little bit scary on biotechs, but yeah, great move on mRNA. Awesome retest. Keep an eye on that in the future there. I have no idea there, Ramit. I don't know about that. I don't really pay attention to AMC. I'm going to look at it later for one of our viewers, but I don't really... I stay away. I don't really have interest. I've traded it in the past, made some money, but... So, here's AMD, not AMC. This is AMD, and this is an ascending triangle that I wanted to show you guys today. So, AMD could potentially be making higher lows here, and could potentially be pushing back into the top of this wedge, where at that point, I don't know what happens. Maybe it breaks through, or maybe it continues to trade like this and then breaks through. But this ascending triangle looks to be there. So I'm not saying to buy it up here. I'm saying maybe there's opportunity here. All right, because if there's opportunity, the good risk to reward would be to take it, sometime down here, and then have a stop below, and have your target up above. So there's your risk, right? Right here's your risk, and then up here is your reward, right? So that is what I'll be looking at on AMD. Nice little potential ascending triangle, nice trend line support here. Interested to see if this thing gets some momentum. If it does, I would assume this can probably push up to that 110, 112 area. That's what I'll be keeping an eye on. So that's AMD today, guys. Keep an eye on that. Tesla has been holding up really, really nicely, up to 760 here in this morning. So if I go to the hourly chart, we will see that we are still very much holding this retest on Tesla. Very healthy hold here, right here. You guys can see that. Healthy retest, 740. Very clean right there. And we are now holding an uptrend. So this uptrend has continued to hold. Does this break out again today? This could be a big breakout. Does this break out today on Tesla? If it does, I'm going to assume you get at least a 10-20 point move. I would assume that at least a 2-3% here if this really gets to start, really starts moving here. So definitely keeping an eye on Tesla. Very nice hold, very nice push. The other thing that on the flip side, if you get this move under this uptrend, that is a deal breaker, right? You need to hold this uptrend in the short term for momentum. So watch this uptrend. If this breaks out above 764 area today, then watch out above. This could be a nice little push. Of course, Tesla has sort of given and taken recently, so I wouldn't assume that it pushes and holds the whole day. Maybe it can pull back, intraday, maybe later in the day. Either way, this could create a good trading opportunity, and I wanted to show you guys it today. So that is Tesla. I'm actually going to screenshot this for the Discord. That is what I'd be watching there. All right, now we are going to jump into some of the picks from the members. If you guys could, if you're gonna start leaving on me, if you're gonna start dipping on me, press the like button before you leave. I'd really much appreciate that. Let's see if we can get to 300. I think I saw someone, Senor Muchacho, KBAL. I've been investing 4 years. Thoughts? I'll go ahead and take a look at that for you right now. KBAL. KBAL. Kimball. I don't know much about the company, man. You probably know better than me. At this point, you just need to see this thing get out of this downtrend. Technical wise, you want to see this break this downtrend, right? That is the downward channel here. It needs to get above that. When it starts to get above it, then maybe you can start to see some light. But right now, you can see the trend has definitely changed from an uptrend to a downtrend, right? Because it was on this uptrend very nicely. You can see, and it sort of cracked that uptrend. So when you start to see this thing break above the top of this downtrend, that is when I would be a little bit more bullish on it. Personally, unfortunately, I just don't know much about this company fundamentally, so it's hard for me to say. But that technical wise, that is what I would be looking at. Watch to see if this can break above this trend right here. So yeah, Kathy Wood did sell a lot of shares of Tesla. Bradicus, I'll get to Microsoft. I don't know if you're watching the what is CI? Is that Celsius? No. Yeah, that thing's starting to move. But yeah, I'm gonna get into some of the members' recommendations here. We got to get into it. So first one is from BNTX first one is BNTX from Don Casimir. So BNTX, Bio and Tech. This is one that sometimes moves with mRNA. We have seen that. So I would be watching, maybe you watch like a little bit of this downtrend right here, which is also right at that 20 SMA. It looks like a little bit of a flag pattern to me. So if BNTX, if Bio and Tech breaks out of this flag pattern, that would be your trigger potentially to take a trade. So this would be a very nice little curl break of a bull flag, and then a nice little push through. Maybe back up to these highs here. So I would definitely be watching these highs as resistance right around this 390. But if this thing can break this flag potentially, break the 20 SMA, maybe you get that push back towards 390, especially if you get some more momentum with mRNA. So that's BNTX. APN looks like a smaller stock. Personally, it's at that point where I would say it's not on the original trend line, because you can see this is the original trend line, right? You want to buy these things at the trend line, guys. I know it's easier to make your mind believe that it's better to buy it here, but it's better to buy it here. This is where you buy these. You do not buy these up here. You have to look at this and know that, okay, there is so much opportunity. There's so much potential downside here. There's almost like 14% downside to where the stock would still look good. If this dipped 14%, the stock still looks good. So you don't want to be selling your position when the stock and the technicals still look great. This is where you want to buy it, because then if it dips below, the technicals no longer look good and you only lose 4 to 5%. Whereas you also get a great entry to where back towards the highs is another 20%, right? So for Mozam, APEN, be patient here, man. Wait for the original trend line test. That's what I would say. It's tested this trend line every single time in the past. What makes you think it doesn't do it again? So that's what I would say to you. Someone really recommended SPRT. So yeah, this thing's just a crazy mover right now. The reason why it's moving back higher is because it's moving off the gap. So if I zoom in here, you can see where this gap started. It's moving off that gap right there. Very, very clean. You can see the top of this candle was 1999. So right there is where you started to find that demand zone. If I go into the, say, 30-minute chart, you can see, look at that demand zone. Perfect. Nice little hold, double bottom, and now we are pushing higher. So this could definitely continue. Let's see what happens. Or it could do this exact thing right here. I mean, who knows? But that is why it bounced. It bounced off that gap. This is the 30-minute. This is the daily chart right here. Back on on a pen. I don't know if that's what you were asking. This is the daily chart. Yep. All right, Netflix. So sometime here, Netflix is going to lose some steam, and we put in our first red day, right? So we talked about this. Wait for Netflix's first red day. There's your first red day. So this could be interesting. If anyone has any interest in playing this to the downside, now is a little bit more interesting, right? You want to see if it holds this 20 SMA on the 4-hour. That is what I'd be watching, 20 SMA on the 4-hour. If that fails, maybe we get this. I've said this every single live stream. So maybe you look for this head and shoulders here on Netflix. If you try to, this is what I would be looking at. 1, you look at this head and shoulders, and 2, just remembering this right now, you look for the fail of 600. The fail of 600 is probably pretty crucial. So if we cannot get back above 6, then I would be a little bit more bearish. So look for the fail of 600 and look for maybe a potential head and shoulders form. That is what I'd be looking if you're looking for downside. Tesla, we went over. Amazon, we went over. Facebook. I love Facebook still. Facebook, I had someone tell me they told me so to sell my Facebook calls, but Facebook still looks great to me. And why do I say that? Why do I think it still looks good? That is because it is still very clearly holding this retest level. I don't know. The text bigger? Yeah, I could. Very clearly holding this retest level. You guys can see highs holding that level, and it's still holding. Here's the hourly chart. So right here. What fonts do you guys want to see? I just don't really understand. You want to see the numbers? So here is the support, demand zone, holding it, pushing higher, continuously holding. As long as Facebook holds this area, I would be bullish on Facebook. This could easily push back higher, especially on some type of Nasdaq momentum. So I like Facebook. I love the retest hold, and this could definitely try to retest maybe some of these highs. So that's FB. I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the same. I'm going to go quick through these, run out of time. NVIDIA is the same as the Nasdaq. NVIDIA is the same as the Nasdaq. Exact same. So the same thing I said for the Nasdaq is the same thing I'll say for NVIDIA. Exact same channel, bottom channel, top of the channel, resistance, support. You have to wait until it cracks below or it cracks above. At this point, if the Nasdaq bounces off that bottom support, then I would expect NVIDIA to bounce off here as well, right? So there could be some nice upside on NVIDIA here. If the Nasdaq starts to fail, then I would be looking at the downside under this 222. So that's NVIDIA, very clean channel. Just trade the channel at this point. Roku is a dead horse. I would wait until something actually happens on Roku. I probably won't touch Roku to the upside until it breaks this 374 level. This level right here, I will probably not touch it until it breaks that level right here. So until then, it's just going to chop around, and I don't have interest in it. It's just it's in a really tough spot, Roku. All right, it's 8:50. I'm here way too long once again. It's Friday. I want to go and get the day started. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Oh, AMC. I forgot. I said I would look at AMC, and I'm going to look at AMC. So AMC, yeah, AMC is in a nice little. We are in a nice little definitely in a nice little ascending triangle here. I mean, it's definitely a good technical formation for sure. And that's a very strong technical formation, and we're breaking out of it today. So, yeah, I mean, totally this could be a huge move. And you just have to know AMC can fake you out very easily, so be careful. However, yes, the triangle is definitely there. It definitely looks very strong to me. And if you are someone that likes to play this is a great time to play it. However, this could always give you a pullback. It's every single time it's hit the top of this channel, it's pulled back. So be careful. Top picks today is definitely Peloton, definitely a firm. Look for those continuations. I actually said I would look at Microsoft. Actually, I'm just going to do Microsoft in the Discord because that's one of the members. I'm not sure if he's in the chat or not. So top picks today, definitely Peloton. I just went over AMC. Definitely Peloton, definitely Affirm. Watch those two continuations. I'm still watching Penn over 85. Oh, wow. Penn's actually starting to push 85 right now. All right, so Penn over 85 also, guys, is one that I'm watching. Penn over 85, Peloton continuation, Affirm continuation, Tesla breakout of that resistance for sure. And then if you like memes, AMC looks pretty good there, but that is a very risky one. That could easily fail. So Peloton, Affirm, Tesla, and Penn are my top 4 today. And then I'm just going to keep an eye on if the Nasdaq is strong. If it is, then you can watch your Facebooks, your Nvidias off some really nice support. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys again for being here. Can we get to 300 likes? That would be fantastic. That would really be awesome. The support on the channel has been great. The subscribers have been sort of slowing down, but I think it's, that's totally normal. YouTube is, peaks and valleys. Sometimes you grow really fast, sometimes you slow down. The most important thing is just to grind through it, guys. That's what everything in life, grind through it. There's going to be slow times, there's going to be great times. Being humble during the great times and grinding and not getting depressed during in the slow times is what I try to do. It's hard sometimes, but it's important, and hopefully you guys can continue to do that, and hopefully, hopefully I can help you, any way I can here on the stream with stocks, with options, and anything else you guys need. So thank you guys so much for being here. Press the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord chat if you have interest. It's 30% off your first 3 months. And it's until this Sunday. So football Sunday, you get that until then. And you can use the code. It is down below in the description. I'll also quickly pop it up on the screen here, right there for you guys. Use the code LABOR, as for Labor Day, and you can get that. So thank you guys again. See you in the next stream next week. If you're in the Discord chat, I'll see you guys there. Peace out.